Welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm Nina.
And I'm Matt. And today we're looking at part 2 of our story, The Lion and the Mouse.
Yes, these are some... Well, have you ever had some weird pets before? Because I've seen on TV, like, there are some people who have pets that are not meant to be pets. Like maybe like
a lion and a mouse?
Well, hamsters can be pets, right? But maybe not a lion.
Mice can be pets as well. But yeah, I have seen some videos of people with pets like lions, and that's very strange. But I don't think I would want to have a pet lion.
Me neither.
So do you have any pets, Nina?
I actually have 2 cats.
Okay.
So I'm a dog person.
Small lions.
Yeah, kind of. I'm a dog person, but I have 2 cats because in Taipei, it's easier to have cats, especially if you live in a small apartment.
Oh,
so,
right.
Yeah, cats take care of themselves. They use a sandbox, and you don't have to take them out for walks every day.
You don't need to push them around in a stroller.
Yes, definitely not. So they're very independent animals. So it was a good decision.
Okay, when I see people pushing their dogs in the stroller, I always thought that was very strange because you don't see that very much in Canada.
Yeah.
But someone explained to me that because if you want to take your dog on the MRT, it needs to be inside something. So you can't just walk with your dog onto the MRT. So those strollers are kind of needed.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, and I suppose if you don't want to carry your dog in the bag, then a stroller makes more sense.
Right.
Okay.
So let's see. So now we've got to go into our story about some animals that would make very strange pets. Well, not a mouse, but certainly the lion. And I don't know if you'd get a stroller big enough for a lion.
Yeah, I think it would just break.
All right, well, anyway, let's find out what happens between these two when we get into part 2 after this.
Okay.
The lion found the mouse's words funny. He thought,
"How could a mouse ever help me?"
However, the lion was generous and let the mouse go. Some days later, the lion was hunting in the forest. He didn't notice the net and stepped in it. Soon the net was all around him.
Welcome back. Today we are looking at part 2 of the story, The Lion and the Mouse. So last time we looked at part 1, which began with a lion sleeping in the forest. Then along came a shy little mouse, and this mouse got very scared when it saw the lion, so it tried to run away quickly. But as it was doing this so quickly, it accidentally ran across the lion's nose and woke the lion from his sleep.
Oh no.
Now, of course, the lion was angry about being woken from his sleep, so he held the mouse with his paw. However, the mouse begged him. She said, "Please let me go and I will pay you back one day." And that is where we left off with part 1.
Okay, let's find out what the lion says. The lion found the mouse's words funny. He thought, "How could a mouse ever help me?" Yeah, because a lion is so big and powerful, and a little mouse is so small. So naturally, the lion thought, "How could a mouse help me?" However, the lion was generous and let the mouse go. Okay, so the lion, even though he thought the mouse couldn't possibly help him or pay him back, he still decided to let the mouse go.
Right, okay, so that's because he was generous.
Yeah.
So generous is an adjective which means very giving or willing to give things to others. So in this case, he's willing to be nice to the mouse, to give the mouse its freedom, to let it go. But we could also use generous in terms of giving things like money. So for example, the generous man donated a lot of money to charity. So continuing with our story, some days later, the lion was hunting in the forest. Okay, so he's trying to find an animal to eat, I guess, if he's hunting. That's what lions do.
And maybe if he didn't let the mouse go, he wouldn't need to hunt right now.
Oh, maybe, but I think the mouse would still be just a snack or an appetizer.
Oh, yeah, true.
Okay. He didn't notice the net and stepped in it.
Oh.
So there's the net there, and he didn't notice it.
Okay, so first he went hunting. So when you hunt is to search for and try to catch or kill animals for food. So for example, the lion hunts in the wild for its prey. Okay, so he went hunting for food.
So in that case, if it's hunting for its prey, that means that the lion is the predator.
Yes, so the predator is the one that hunts and the prey is the one that gets hunted.
That's right. Okay, so we said the lion didn't notice the net.
Yes.
So to notice something means to become aware of something. So if you see something and you say, oh, that's there, or you think that means you have noticed something. So for example, I looked outside and noticed that it was raining.
Okay.
So I could see the rain, and now I know it's raining. It means I noticed it.
Okay, and it didn't notice the net. So a net is a piece of material made of string or rope, which is used to catch things, right? So you usually have a net for fishing maybe. So there are fishing nets. And in this case, I think it could possibly be a trap, right? So for example, the fisherman used a net to catch fish. So in this case, it's a fishing net, right?
Okay. So it sounds like the lion is trapped in this net, which, someone has put there to catch animals like him.
Yeah.
Soon the net was all around him.
Yeah, so usually once you step into it, you will just get more and more tangled, right?
Okay, so it's all around him, meaning it's on all sides of the lion, and sounds like he cannot escape.
Yeah, he's trapped.
Okay, so very interesting so far. We've, seen now that the lion, even though he is big and strong, he can still have some problems. So
Exactly.
he's not totally, safe from everything, even though he's the biggest, strongest animal in the forest. And he can still get into trouble and have some problems like getting caught in a net.
Okay, so now we're going to get into a break and we'll find out after what happens to this lion.
The lion tried and tried to get out of the net. When he couldn't, he filled the forest with his angry roaring. The mouse knew that voice and ran to it fast.
Welcome back. Before the break, the lion had let the mouse go because it found what the mouse said to be funny. So now the lion is hunting in the forest. But while it was hunting, it didn't notice a net and stepped on the net and then became trapped in it with the net all around it.
Yes, and now continuing with the story, the lion tried and tried to get out of the net. When he couldn't, he filled the forest with his angry roaring. Wow. That reminds me of, have you ever seen The Lion King?
Yes, I have. The original one, the cartoon one, not the CGI one.
Yes, okay, so that's the original one. And the roaring of the son, Simba. So Simba was just a little lion and he was trying to roar just like dad, right? And he couldn't quite do it because he was just a baby. But when he finally grew up, he could finally do it like his dad, and it was very loud and powerful and made him feel like he was in charge.
Okay, well it's a loud and powerful noise. So that's what roaring is. So roaring is a noun and it means a deep and long or prolonged sound made by a wild animal, usually a lion, but other animals can also roar or make a roaring sound or have a, roaring. So this roaring sound or roaring we can also use for other sounds that are not made by animals but are similar sounding to the sound the animals make. So, for example, I could barely hear my own voice over the roaring of the river.
Oh, yes. Or you could also say the roaring of the crowd, right?
That's right. A crowd also makes a long, deep noise.
Yeah, indeed. So there are a couple of different ways of roaring, or yes. So continuing with the story, the mouse knew that voice and ran to it fast. So the mouse heard the roaring and knew, oh, that was actually the lion who let me go, right?
Right.
And it ran to the lion very fast.
So, yeah, I know that a lion's roar. So I've heard a real lion roaring before.
Oh, really?
It was at the zoo in Taipei.
Oh, cool.
But you could hear it from very far away. So it was not just when I was close to where the lions were, but even in other parts of the zoo that were far from where the lion is, you could still hear its roar.
That is actually very impressive. Do you find it scary?
Yeah, I think it's a scary sound. I think, it does sound like a monster almost. Like it sounds very scary. So I think this mouse must actually be quite brave to be running towards this roaring instead of running away from it.
Have you ever been to a safari?
No, I haven't, but it's something I would like to do in the future.
So in that case, you would probably see a lion very close to you roaring. So you might have to be prepared for that.
I hope so. All right, that's it for this part 2 of our story, but we've still got one more part to go. So we'll see you then for part 3.
Okay, and we'll find out what happens to this lion.
The lion found the mouse's words funny. He thought,
How could a mouse ever help me?
However, the lion was generous and let the mouse go. Some days later, the lion was hunting in the forest. He didn't notice the net and stepped in it. Soon the net was all around him. The lion tried and tried to get out of the net. When he couldn't, he filled the forest with his angry roaring. The mouse knew that voice and ran to it fast.
Hello, I'm Tina. 我们来看这一课的重点单字。第一个 generous 形容词，仁慈的，慷慨的。My grandma is always very generous. 我奶奶总是非常仁慈慷慨。下一个单字 hunt 动词，狩猎，打猎。They went out to hunt for deer in the forest. 他们去森林里猎鹿。下一个单字 notice 动词，注意，留意。Did you notice the new painting on the wall? 你注意到墙上的新画作了吗？最后一个单字 net 名词，网子。Jimmy used a net to catch the fish. Jimmy 用网子捕鱼。接着我们来看重点文法。第一个 step in something 踩到，踏入某物，这是一个不可以分开的动词片语。Step 指的是踩踏。我们来看看这个例句。I accidentally stepped in a puddle and got my shoes wet. 我不小心踩到了水坑，弄湿了鞋子。Accidentally 指的是意外的 ，puddle 指的是水坑、水洼。下一个文法 ，get out of something 从某物中离开、逃离。 我们来看看这个例句。We need to find a way to get out of the traffic jam. 我们需要找到一个方法，从交通堵塞中逃脱。最后一个文法 ，fill A with B 使 A 充满 B， 用 B 填满 A。Fill 是动词，装满的意思。我们来看看这个例句。Mom filled the vase with fresh flowers. 妈妈把花瓶装满了鲜花。Vase 指的是花瓶。以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，我们下一课再见，拜拜。
Hey, it's Kiwi on the street.
I'm Kiki.
And I'm Winnie.
Oh, by the way, Winnie, don't forget, Sunday's party is BYOB.
Biob?
No, bring your own bottle so you can fill it up with water and reuse it.
Well, now that is a great abbreviation. Okay, everyone, let's work on some abbreviations. Our first one is WDYT.
What do you think?
Oh, very good. What do you think? What do you think W is?
What?
Okay.
What do you think? What do you mean?
What do you
Think.
Yes, very good.
What do you? I don't know.
What do you
What do you think?
What do you think? Very good. Okay, how about this one? DM.
Direct message. Direct message.
Direct message?
Like exactly from me to you.
Direct.
Yes!
Direct message.
Direct
Oh.
message. Okay, you have 2 so far. Let's see if you have 3 for 3. TBD.
TBD.
There are multiple answers for this, so you just say what you think it is.
It hasn't happened yet.
TBD. I don't know. To be do.
To be determined.
Very good. And there are some other options, but that is the one we're looking for as well. So, what did we learn today?
Let's work on today's abbreviations. The first one is WDYT. What do you think? What do you think? So you could use it like, what do you think about the new Barbie movie? Next, we have DM, direct message. Direct message. So for example, you could say, she sent me a direct message on Instagram. Last but not least, we have TBD. So this one has a lot of different versions. We have to be determined, to be determined. We also have to be decided, to be decided. And also we have to be discussed, to be discussed. So for example, the wedding date is still to be determined. That's all we have for today. Kiwi later.